Force on the dielectric slab. Hi students, today we are going to discuss about force on the dielectric slab. When a dielectric slab is placed, when a dielectric slab is placed near a charged capacitor, the slab experiences a inward pull towards the inside of the capacitor due to the fringing effect. We will find the force on the dielectric in two conditions. One is when the battery remains connected, when battery remains connected, battery remains connected, battery remains connected, and the other one is when the battery is disconnected, or after the battery disconnected, after the battery disconnected, after the battery disconnected. So in both these two cases we are going to calculate the force on the dielectric slab. Now this is a parallel plate capacitor. See, now one plate has got positive charge, say positive charge, this positive charge. The other plate has got negative charge. Now this positive charge will induce negative. The positive charge will induce negative over here, and the negative will induce positive charge in the dielectric. Say the dielectric constant is K. Now this positive will induce negative here, this negative induces positive here. Now this negative charge is pulled by the positive plate. This positive charge is pulled by the negative plate. Now the net force will act in this direction towards the parallel plate capacitor. Okay, so this is the force responsible for the induced charges, or the reason why the force is acting inwards or towards the parallel plate capacitor. Now let the total length of this is L. Total length of the plate is L. Now width of that plate is B. Width of that plate is B. Okay. Now let us take this length up to which we have the dielectric is X. Then the remaining will become L minus X. L minus X. The separation between the plates is D. Separation is D. Now the electric field lines will move from positive to negative like this, positive to negative in this direction. Now here at the edges you will have some fringing effect. Okay, now see, when we look at this one, we can always write this as a two parallel capacitors, two parallel capacitors, because the potential difference between them is same. Two parallel capacitors. Okay, say this is without dielectric, this part is without dielectric, and this part is with dielectric. Now the lower one, this one is say C2, and this part without dielectric is C1, with dielectric is C2. Say with this is with dielectric, and we have connected it to the cell, say of potential V. Now so the first case we were discussing when the battery is connected. So when the battery is connected, when the battery is connected, when the battery is connected, right? When the battery is connected, now first of all I'll calculate the effective resistance. The effective resistance here is C1 plus C2. C is equal to C1 plus C2. C is equal to C1 plus C2. Now C1 is here. Now without a dielectric, without a dielectric, without dielectric is epsilon naught, say this area is A1 by D, plus because the distance between the plates is D. C2 is equal to epsilon naught A2 by D. Okay. Now this area, this area with the dielectric, the area with the dielectric is A2. Okay. Now so I considered them parallel. When parallel, the effective capacitance is C1 plus C2. Okay. So this is epsilon naught A1. What is A1? What is area? Area is, this is the area, L minus x into width. Width is width of this plate is B. Width of that plate is B. So epsilon naught L minus x into B is A1. Area is length into breadth. So length is L minus x into breadth. Length is L minus x into breadth by D, plus second area. Second one is this area, the area which the area of the dielectric. Now here this is x. X is the length, width is B. So x into B, epsilon naught, area is x into B by D. X is the length, B is the width. So area is xb by D. That is equal to, now we just take the things common. Now here this is k epsilon naught A by D, because we have dielectric, right? We have dielectric here now of dielectric constant k. So we have to write k epsilon naught A2. So this is k epsilon naught xb by D. Now we take this common, epsilon naught B by D I will take common. So the remaining part will be L minus x plus kx. So from here I can write epsilon naught B by D. Okay, this kx minus x, so L, so this is L. After L I will take x common, plus x into this k I will write k minus 1 is the effective capacitance, is the effective capacitance. C is equal to epsilon naught B by D L plus x into k minus 1. So this is the effective capacitance of this, right? Now we want this energy U is equal to half C V square. Now already we know the C value, so just substitute half. C is epsilon naught B by D into L plus x into k minus 1 bracket close. C I wrote V square, so this is U. Now F, the modulus of F or the magnitude of F is equal to du by dx, that is equal to half, differentiate u with respect to x, that gives us half into epsilon naught b v square by d into k minus 1. This is the magnitude of force when the battery is connected. When the battery is disconnected, this is a parallel plate capacitor. In one parallel plate capacitor, one plate is positively charged and other one is negatively charged, and we keep a dielectric like this. Let us take this distance as x, so the remaining distance will be L minus x. The total length of the plate is L. The width of the plate will be d. The distance is d. The distance between the plates is d. The electric field will be in this direction from the positive to negative. The edges you can have some fringing effect. Now here this positive will induce negative charge here. This negative will induce positive charge here. This positive is pulled like this inward. This negative is pulled by this positive plate in this direction. So it experiences net inward force into the parallel plate capacitor. Now when the battery is disconnected, then this is an isolated system, so the charge will remain same. Charge is same. The charge remains same. Now as the charge remains same, so U is equal to half C V square. Now here Q is same, so I will use U is equal to Q square by 2C. Q square by 2C. Here Q is same, so I am writing Q square by 2C. I know the C effective. Already previously we have discussed how to calculate. We can imagine that this is having two capacitors which are in parallel, C1 and C2, where C2 is filled with the dielectric. We can calculate the effective capacitance as C1 plus C2. Previously we have calculated, and we know the value of C as epsilon naught b by d L plus x into k minus 1. Same thing, we know the capacitance, effective capacitance of the capacitor, right? So I will substitute here. So U is equal to Q square by 2 into C. The capacitance C value is, earlier we have epsilon naught b by d L plus x into k minus 1. That value I am substituting here. 2 into epsilon naught b into L plus x into k minus 1 d. D is here. Okay. Now U value we got. Now to calculate F is equal to minus du by dx. Have to differentiate with respect to x. Now differentiate this with respect to x, then we'll get Q square d k minus 1 by 2 epsilon naught b L plus x into k minus 1 whole square. Now this minus will become plus. So F is equal to Q square d k minus 1 by 2 epsilon naught b L plus x into k minus 1 whole square. This is the formula for the force acting on the dielectric slab.